Hi everyone, Maria here, and welcome to Season 1 of GGUTTALKS, GGUTT, a podcast focusing on business and tech for good, experience design, and gut feelings. You mentioned that you worked with ESA, the European Space Agency, and when we did the talk a few years ago, that is in the other video on YouTube, you also said that it takes 10 years to build a space-driven company somehow. Can you also tell me what were the challenges we're focusing on the business and product market fit at the same time?
I think if you start from a business way, definitely one of the key problems in the beginning for us was that we were kind of road makers. There wasn't any path in front of us, which was scary in the same time, but it was also huge amount of opportunities. So nobody could tell you what to do and how to do it, but there was also endless ways how you could do it. Nobody would say like, hey, that's a bad way. So we had to find the right way for us. So that's why we experimented with a product fit, like market fit, so much in the beginning. And secondly, one was definitely difficult than business way was in the beginning. It was in Estonia was more. It wasn't like space wasn't industrialized, so it was more of a fanatics way. So 10 years ago, space in Estonia was run by fanatics. There wasn't any serious business in that. So the second key was that, like when we started in 2013, the space was a well for fanatics. So there wasn't any industry in it. There wasn't any money in it. So we pretty much had to find the market outside. There isn't still any market in Estonia, but like there wasn't any connections, like business connections, anything. So it took like first 5 years. It really took for us to understand the world, to get the connections, and especially in space where everything is, how to say it? Everybody who's doing business know each other. So it's like really, really small worlds. And it's really, really hard to get into it. So it really took 5 years for us to get to know all the right people. So these were the two like business ways, like really tough ways. And also, like usually in Europe, there are some initiatives or help from the governmental side to grow the space companies. We didn't get any because there wasn't any support mechanisms to help you. So we were really like finding out like everything from scratch on, which was a really interesting path to go. But yeah, that's probably also why we did a lot of. We were struggling with a product market fit, so we're looking for different products, what we fit, analyzing things in business analysis there. So I think this kind of research or like finding the right way has given us like really strong market feeling, like it's kind of a gut feeling, like what's right, what's wrong. But in the same time, it definitely has not been an easy way, but it's been interesting.
Okay. You just brought it up on your own. You spoke about gut feelings, which is fine. Why not? So we were talking about the business aspect somehow. And so do you trust your gut usually in your business decisions or in your engineering decisions? Because engineering it is really about experimentation, trial and error, and so on, and data. So do you have different approaches to that?
So I think the answer there is yes, I trust it, but it also I want to verify it. So as I'm usually generating, like I have a gut feeling like, hey, this market seems something we can sell our product, but it also has to come with, okay, that's a gut feeling, so we have to verify it. So is it like, hey, can we do sales there, some kind of business analysis, like tryouts of I trust it, but I always want to actually verify, like, is it true? Because I always think like there's like really good saying. I think it was one of the Intel leaders who I quote, who said like, God we trust, others must bring data. So I'm kind of believing in my gut feeling, but I also I need to verify it somehow, like say like, hey, that seems to be going the right way.
For business and engineering decisions.
Business engineering for both.
Okay. There
have to be a way to verify that. Because this is always really good, because it always gives you confidence, like, hey, is my gut feeling going the right direction? Is it evolving the right direction? Because I think when you're starting, your gut feeling is not as strong as when you continue learning, continue evolving as a person. So I think that's also like one thing, learning, because the gut feeling essentially comes from your previous experience, your feeling of the world. So the more it grows, the more it becomes accurate.
Yeah, totally on that one for sure. And one thing, building a satellite and working with NASA, even though through Max Ride, is tough. How do you do it?
Writing documentation.
Okay.
Because when you're working with big organizations such as NASA or ESA or Maxar or Airbus, let's say most of the work is documentation. So you become half an artist to writing literature, but beyond that, it's like you have to prove yourself. So you really have to have a really good track record to start those guys. So when you're starting with those guys, the big guys, junior is a good spot. So with this like deep tech market, if you get on a table from those big guys, you know that you're in the right place, and your business is good for the next 10, 15 years. But to getting there, it's a 10-year effort.